what I am attracting into my life right now? Why is it that I am not experiencing the impact that I'm trying to share? What could that still be reflecting within me? What could I still be holding that is creating that specific reality to manifest? And the realization you got to have here is, hey, welcome. If you're new, I'm Ken. I help spiritual entrepreneurs and facilitators who have already done the inner work embody their full power and intuitive clarity to complete the mission they know they came for. This video you're about to watch comes from one of our Q&A events where we dived into the things holding you back from creating your impact in 2026. Today's question is,
I bought the URL, x.com, 19 years ago. And I knew at the time that it would be my life's work, but I never felt ready to do it until last year. I'm not a self-realized master, but I have been a spiritual path for about 35 years. And I realized that there's a value in people who need help at what I call like the mid-mountain base camp. So they're not at the top yet, but they're like in the middle, and they basically get overwhelmed and they need a lot of assistance kind of unpacking their backpack and getting sorted for the next part of their journey. But I've been really surprised that my attempts to get this work out there so far have really had a lot of friction. My Kickstarter, won't be able to reach its goal. I feel like I'm all in, putting myself out there, trying to do this, and it's just not quite happening. I also either need this to work very soon, or I need to basically get a regular job and have this as a hobby. And so there's that tension there.
yeah, there's that extra pressure of even survival, right? It's got to work. I love this because it actually represents a little bit of some of my later phases in my journey too, where I had all these systems in place. I even had some of these mechanisms to help people, the channeled stuff that I even talk about, some of these tool sets. And so the amount of transformation I was seeing just with a few people just that were friends of friends, or people that kind of just came through some other types of, let's say, spiritual groups that I was involved in. And at this point where I was also kind of jumping into this hermit phase, I had quit my job. And at that time I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go all in. But after having quit my job, I was basically living off savings for so long. It was 3 years later, and I was at the very last month of being able to live off of those savings. And it just reminds me what you're sharing about some of the reflections from that stage. Before we get back to the video, if you're a coach, facilitator, or practitioner, and you know you are here for a mission to be part of a shift and create a great impact, then I have a gift for you. See, it's my mission to help soul-led leaders to get to their next level of impact by tapping into their full power and intuitive clarity to fully hold the frequency they are meant for. Most tools and methods out there can only get you so far in this journey, and it's my job to share channeled systems and tools for your next level. So take the 30-second quiz to receive a premium activation meditation tailored to your specific mission goals. This is the same caliber of tool that my private clients use, and it activates that power within you in just 15 minutes a day. So enjoy. The link is down below. There is a thing such as divine timing, but often the divine timing is actually residing within us. It's not so much just it needs to happen in a specific time. And it's, okay, I'm waiting around for it to happen. Or I'm like trying a couple of things. Oh, it's not working. And the biggest tests that you will have, the biggest test of endurance, of embodiment, of what you have started to embody and learn up until now is going to be when you're going to start sharing that with others. Why is that the case? Well, you've figured it out. You've started to address some of your patterns. You started to move more into this new part of you, this new identity, and you did so through the work that you've uncovered and the inner work that you've done and the systems that you've created or learned from, or whatever the case is. And right up until this point, you've kind of done a lot of the work. But now here comes the huge, let's say, obstacle that we're not always prepared for, because we're like, cool, it's going great. I'm doing much better. People notice it. I'm helpful to others. I'm now creating this thing. I even was maybe more in the flow, bringing some intuitive guidance, maybe channeling some of it through me. Who knows? So now you've written this book and you've come to the precipice of, okay, well, now if things don't work out, what then? And the reality here is that you have invested this part of you within yourself. You have brought this new you to the table. But the universe is not sure just yet. You haven't proven it to the universe. You've done the work. You've kind of done it. You say you have. But what would a true test of embodiment look like? Unconditional embodiment. Things going right. Cool, I did the work and then things went right. And everyone's now knows me and all my work is shared. That's beautiful. A bit too easy, don't you think? A true test of embodiment would be the universe reflecting everything that goes against the intuitive flow and grain that you feel and truly know inside, yet you stay trusting and guided anyway. That is true embodiment. And that is what happens in those later phases. And when you're doing some of this work, there's going to be those aspects of you that you're going to have to continuously fine tune, and even some of that imposter syndrome. We can actually dive into all the stuff of how you could go about getting some more of your first clients. But really, what we also have to understand is the energetics of it. What I am attracting into my life right now. Why is it that I am not experiencing the impact that I'm trying to share? What could that still be reflecting within me? What could I still be holding that is creating that specific reality to manifest? And the realization you got to have here is maybe there's still a little part of me that is still not 100% sure or still not 100% convinced that that life for me is possible, or that life for me is tangible, even almost touchable, because sometimes we feel so called to this massive thing, and we even perhaps feel the sense and the importance of it, and it's like, whoa, is it even maybe like possible? Can this happen for me too? Now, it could be different. It could be something else. There could be other aspects. But it's the perfect place to ensure we're holding the frequency of everything that it is that we want to share. And you're going to have more tests, especially when you're doing this business. You're going to have perhaps some of the worst clients. You're going to have some terrible clients. And it's going to be like, how do I hold this space for even them? How do I hold this space, or how do I hold my own boundaries and my energetic, let's say, aura, so that I am embodying what I need to be, even with the reflection of things showing me wrong. This is going to be your, let's say, creation story. It's going to be the making you shine, right? So you've got into from a place where you're a charcoal, maybe you're a black. This is really a huge metaphor. And now you're, let's say, gray, right? And maybe you're a brass or whatever the case is. But now you've got to shine. And so you're still dusty, or you're still, not polished. And so this is going to be the shining process. And that's going to take a little bit of work. It's going to take a little bit of that elbow grease. But that is the only way through which we can embody unconditional faith, unconditional trust, unconditional flow, and really feel the gravity and the celebration of when that comes to fruition. Look at what I created. Look at what I brought into this world, right? But it won't be nearly as sweet or impactful or a story that you can really share with others when it's like, cool, I wrote a book, I shared it, and now it's sold on 1 million pages and 1 million people have read it. There's not much embodiment test in that, especially when the thing that you're bringing is not just cool, a helpful business thing. Why do so many business ideas work and the thing that you really care about doesn't? Well, it's because it matters so much. And in many cases, for us soul-led people, the frequency of it is so much more higher vibrational, right? And so we really have to be so compatible with that. And we have to truly be fully resolved within so many of our own let's say, unresolved parts, our untransmuted segments, so that we can actually fully hold that frequency. It is a journey, it is a road. It doesn't happen simply overnight. It is a process of your making, a process of you becoming the absolute most impactful, best version of you. And there doesn't exist a time where it will ever even stop. There will always be a continuation of that learning, a continuation of that growing. But yes, there will be a time where at least you're more in flow with actually doing the thing that you've now brought into this world, rather than still trying to get it to start, get it to launch, right? And really, it is about that full embodiment of trust. That is one of the biggest tests, and it is the test that comes when you're facing those last remnants. I call them the final ascension blocks within also your soul blueprint. So I say, don't stop, continue, but change your metric system from, hey, I'm looking for this thing to work out. Can you show me a reflection of it working out? Because I need this. It has to work now. It needs to bring money. These are all statements of fear-based consciousness, right? It is almost, okay, I need to survive. It's coming from a place of, not say desperation, but anxiety nonetheless. Hey, real quick, it's my mission to create a butterfly effect by teaching leaders like you how to embody their greatest impact. I've already impacted over 4,000 soul-led people with my authentic business and intuition programs and coaching events. And the aim of this video is to reach even more spiritual teachers so we can start to make an even greater difference. So if that's you, click on the subscribe button. And if you know someone who would actually benefit from these insights, go ahead and share this video with them. Thank you for helping me with my mission and for helping them with theirs. We really want to make almost peace with the fact that, okay, well, maybe it won't even work out. Can I be okay with the fact that it might not even work out? And when you do that, when you can look at your life's work and say it's okay if it doesn't even pan out, if it doesn't even get into the hand of anyone else, that is when you've embodied such trust that you have actually fully understood the process. You have worked your way through and you have embodied that process. And why is that so important? Because the best things might be around the corner from a thing that you wanted so much needing to fall away. So for example, one of my biggest lessons in my most recent lifetime, so my past lifetime, was actually having the empire I created come falling down. Why did it fall down? For reasons that were actually my own making. Shifting from what was a much more divine intention into feeling the power of having such power within a community that I was a part of and having such influence and using that power to start manipulating more to my own benefit. And this was something that happened in my past life. And this is something that I experienced and saw and understood it, but I understood that, oh, okay, hold on. This is teaching me a little lesson that I can bring into this lifetime about the ego and about the fact that it is important to still hold that true intention that you set off with, in the beginning nonetheless. But what was so important about also the whole empire crumbling down was to realize that it can happen tomorrow. It can happen today. It can happen at any moment. And if we can be at peace, even with that very incredibly difficult idea, we can be fully in the flow. And if we're not attached to anything having to happen, then we're fully in the flow. If we're not attached to even the thing that means the most to us, then it means we can let it go, and maybe the next best thing that's waiting around the corner will be right there, waiting for you to grab hold. But you were so focused on having this thing work out that never could occur, for instance. Now, that's not what might be happening. It could be multiple layers, but it's just to say that acceptance is such an important layer to this level of the journey because it allows you to fully bring in, either embody what you need to embody or accept so that the other things can come along. Either way, it is the only path, essentially. So hopefully that brings in a couple of layers of reflection and a little bit of also inspiration, because you're not alone in that journey. That's something that many people have had the difficulty with, even entrepreneurs in general. That's a difficulty, bringing your creation to life and actually getting it out there. That's a challenge in and of itself. Now, if you're in the spiritual niche, there's a whole other level of challenge, because you need to be embodied and that, representative of the work, right? You also need to be, first and foremost, able to do more heart-centric sales, more aligned marketing, because you can't focus on what all the business advice is out there, because it won't actually align with your audience. But then you also still need to advertise to your audience so that they know you exist and they can connect with you and they can have the value and the transformation from maybe your product. So like, how do you integrate all these worlds? And so there is a lot of challenge in that, and that you are not alone. But look first at, cool, what is this bringing in for me? What opportunities is it bringing up for me? How can I embody more of that trust? How can I embody more of what it is that I'm even trying to bring in and share with others? Hey, it's me again. If you have any questions or thoughts, share them in the comments section down below, and I'll be happy to chat. And if you're looking for more intuitive guidance on your soul mission journey, then click on this video above, and I'll see you there. Until next time, bye.